for g.un control and lsquo semicolon. Can we agree there&rsquo semicolon s too much d.eath&rsquo? Former NBA star Steve Nash shared all of his thoughts on gun violence and the need for gun control in a powerful Players Tribune piece on Thursday. The father of four says he's heartbroken for the 17 who died in the high school shooting in Parkland, Florida, and for the victims who died in shootings before them. He adds that he's angry because so many innocent people are dying senselessly. Two specific points Nash makes are that we need to enforce and expand background checks for people trying to purchase a gun, and we need to more strictly regulate semi-automatic weapons, like the AR-15, which are so often used in mass shootings. Here's his explanation: even though I personally believe we should try to take as many guns out of our society as possible, that is a separate discussion. Right now, can we at least agree on a couple of changes that could save lives immediately? First, we need to enforce and expand background checks for people trying to purchase a gun. We also need to require them to supply proof of proper storage, which they do in other countries with great success. Second, we need to more strictly regulate semi-automatic weapons, like the AR-15, which are so often used in mass shootings. These weapons make it easy for someone to kill many people in a matter of seconds. And seriously, what's the counter-argument here? I'm just not sure what weapons like the AR-15 offer everyday society. But we do know the harm they cause. Without these weapons, deranged individuals such as the killer in Las Vegas wouldn't have been able to murder and injure so many victims in such a short amount of time. Lives would have been saved. Those people would be here with us now, going to work or school, or packing their kids a lunch. Nash also goes over certain arguments he has heard and why he believes they are wrong. I'll also skim over the argument: bad people will find guns no matter what laws you pass. That makes no sense to me. There are plenty of bad people in the rest of the world, just like there are plenty of bad people in the US. America makes up less than 5% of the world's population, but we account for 31% of global mass shooters. To put this as simply as possible, it's about the guns. He ends by saying that everyone should support the high school students who have started a movement against gun violence and emphasizes that he hopes people are able to come together to save as many lives as possible. My point here is not to drive us apart. It's to ask you, how can we come together on this issue? Can we agree that there's too much death, too much violence, too much loss? Can we come together and meet in the middle, as soon as possible, to save as many lives as possible? I know we can find some common ground, and I know that that's where we'll have to meet if we want to leave this continuous cycle of violence and death in the past. Read Nash's full message at the Players Tribune. More: Kevin Durant's metrics ranking sent Clay's dad Michael Thompson on a fiery Twitter rant. Kevin Durant's metrics ranking sent Clay's dad Michael Thompson on a fiery Twitter rant. Larry Nance Jr. says his mom tried to get him to move into basement after trade to Cavs. Conor McGregor assures everyone he'll fight again in Instagram letter. Jack Nicklaus explains how he'd speed up the game of golf.